Hey guys, it's Jenna back again with another video where I'm going to be talking about how I use Notion to plan my social media content. Now, I'm going to be running through all of my content, so that's everything from my blog, my podcast, my videos on YouTube that I'm recording right now, as well as specifically my Instagram. So if you're looking for all of that, make sure to continue to watch this video. Make sure to follow and subscribe for more Notion content, as well as other productivity and social media content. So let's just get started, and I'm going to walk you through my Notion setup. I also am going to be giving you guys my Instagram template, so if you want to download that, make sure to click the link below and you can duplicate that into your own Notion account. So let's just get started. All right, so here's a quick look at my content calendar. Now, I'm going to be talking mostly about specific content on this video because in the last video kind of went pretty fast through this area, and I really wanted to focus specifically on it. So the first thing I kind of have added recently is my terms framework that I created, which is trends, tips and tutorials, education, entertainment and engagement, reactions and commentary, motivational and inspirational, story times, promotional, and sneak peeks. Now, this is the framework that I try to think of all of my content around, and so anytime I'm coming up with something, it has to fit in one of those categories. The next thing that I added was things to promote, which basically means all the different products and services that I offer. So if I'm ever like, what am I going to promote today? These are all kind of like the call to action. So if you wanted to add something like that to your account, basically all you would do is you would create something called a toggles list. So that's something that I have done recently. Now I've separated out my content into a couple different categories. I have content marketing, and then social media marketing, and then resources for content. Now, when you first go into here, you'll see just some general topics and ideas I've had recently, as well as just some additional topics of things that I could post on TikTok or YouTube or my podcast. And I'm probably going to add some more, but these are just some things that I've kind of talked about in the past. And so if I'm ever like, all right, what can I talk about? Those are the things I generally talk about. The next thing that I have is my podcast workflow. So I have a table of contents right here. So basically, in order to do that, you just add a table of contents. So you just type table of contents. And then what you have to do is you have to add a heading above each section to make it into a table of contents. So you'll see right above each of these, I have like podcast workflow, which links here. So if I, click any of these, it'll go directly to that heading, which is really, really cool. So one of the things that for my podcast workflow, it's really cool is, I have my checklist here of all the steps that I do. And what's cool about doing things this way is you can actually either turn them into a page or, so if you click here, you can turn it to inline, which actually makes it bigger. Otherwise, you can always go back to the page. Same with the guest ideas. I'm not going to show you that because it's a bunch of names, but basically those are people that I have ideas for coming on the podcast. It's just a list. Here's actually my upcoming podcast. I have the podcast number, the topic idea. So I have a bunch of different topics that I've done. The recording date, if I know the date we're going to record the episode, the publishing date. And then this is actually stuff that I get sent to me in a form that I have people fill out if they've checked off the release agreement. And then I also have a relation option, which actually relates to the content schedule, which I'll show you when I go to that section. So you can see how it's related. And then, the type, etc. Down here, I have my bio that I copy and paste into all of my episodes. And then I have all of my past podcast episodes sorted by topic. You can obviously see it in all of the different ones. And then on each of them, I actually have the picture as the cover art, as well as all the bio and everything. So I've also recently added all of the icons for the different types of topics that I talk about. And then I have the podcast number. I also have the guest name and their bio. If they have a website link and social media links, so that's like their Instagram, their email, and then just the topics that they talk about, the release date of the episode, the link to the episode. And then if I have the transcription, I will do that. And I have a ton of episodes, so it took me a long time to set that up. But that's always helpful if I'm ever looking for something and I need to open just a page. I would have all the information I needed. Here's the intro and ad for the actual episode, and then I also have all the equipment that I use, which I sometimes share. So obviously, if you can open up this page, I've shared that before to the internet, so people can find this information if they want to know. So that's basically my entire workflow for my podcast. And so that's kind of how I do that. So when it comes to videos, and I do this a little bit differently. I have a separate one for TikTok and Reels. This is mostly TikTok, and then obviously YouTube. So for this, I have a couple different TikTok accounts. So as I mentioned before, I put a table of contents. And then over here, what's cool is I've added a related option to my TikTok sound library. So if I knew what sound I was going to use, I would just select that so I know which one. So if you go down to the music, you see I have all of my different sounds, and some of them have the links to the actual sound. So if I don't remember where it is, it's very helpful for me to know which sounds I'm going to be using. So I have a ton of different music, obviously. I have some past TikToks as well, and then some TikTok accounts that I like to follow, or I've started tracking, different types of businesses. So that's kind of how I do TikTok and Reels. YouTube. So this is basically... I'm filming this right now using Notion to plan social media content, but I can also prioritize it if it's next up or if it's just an idea. I have it sorted by topic. And then also if there's a blog post that's going to go along with it, I actually have linked it to my blog post section called past blog posts. So that's something that if I have a blog post about it, it will link over there. Obviously the links that I put in my YouTube channel, so it's a quick copy paste for me. And then obviously all of my old past videos. So these are all of my old thumbnails, the date that it came out, and the different topics that I have. So that's been really helpful for me to look back and see, oh, look at all the different topics I've had in the past. I need to kind of consolidate this a little bit and just be more consistent about the topics. And then similar to the podcast, I have the video equipment that I use. I have some YouTube parking lot ideas and some video resources. So that's my YouTube. And then with email, I don't really have anything on there. I'm not going to show that. But then if I go to blog, you'll see these are my upcoming blog posts. I have similar things like topics. And then linking to the YouTube videos if I'm planning to do a YouTube video. I do the same thing on here. These are also upcoming ideas. I can view it in any way that I want. What's the priority? These are my high priority, where I'm at in the process. And then my past blog posts. So, and again, I recently added all of the little icons, the date published, the topic, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my blog. And then how do I actually put this all together? So you'll see, I'm going to click this one actually. I've actually started using something called linked databases, where all the stuff that I've published on all those other pages goes onto this one page. So if you go to the TCC social media, TCC is the name of my business, you'll see I have a linked database. So if you click here, it actually goes right back to that page. So it goes back to the video page. But if you go back to here, it actually allows you to just kind of embed it within this page. So I've got the YouTube one, I've got the podcast, I've got my Instagram, I've got email if I have anything. I don't have it currently. The past, which I might delete that because that's kind of not, actually I'm going to delete it because it's not important on here. Let's see, delete, because actually I'm not deleting it now because I have to move this. But that is something that I'm going to move. And then blog post ideas. So basically what this means is this is all the upcoming blog posts. So I have all of this on one page. So if I'm ever looking and thinking like, what topics am I doing next? It's all on one page. So this is my like upcoming schedule. So, and then I have them for my other accounts as well. Another thing I didn't mention is I have a hashtag library. So if I go into this, I know I set it up on this one. So on my personal account, if I have like an idea for an upcoming thing, I actually have a link to my hashtags. You'll see right here. So that's super cool that I'm able to click on that and then know exactly where that is. I will have the notes for those, and it's in the related hashtag database, which is right here. And I have the different hashtags that I like. So that's another thing. And then the last thing that I have is my quote database. I actually have my Pinterest link to my business quote board, but these are like quotes that I maybe want to do soon. I also have quotes that I've already put on my social as well. So that's really my main content calendar area. It's kind of been updated recently in the last couple days, but I'm going to give you guys a free template. So if you want my Instagram one, I'm going to give that to you, which basically is this. So I will actually give you guys this template. It's going to be linked in the video. So I hope you guys enjoy that. You can obviously look at this and kind of figure out how you want to do it for yourself. You may not have a YouTube channel or a podcast or whatever, but if you have social media, it's a great place to just try out and see, hey, can I start planning social using Notion? I obviously also use Canva, so this has been really, really helpful for me to be able to use. So thanks, everyone.